all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys we're going to be doing our Harshette Titanic build. So we are going to do issue 135 of Build the Titanic. Now, 5 more to go after this one, but they're not going to be short videos, I can tell you that now. We've got an absolute load to do in this one today. Some bits we're putting on that we've had since issue 9, would you believe? And also we've got the hull to bring down, then take away, and then so it's going to be very stop and start while I change camera positions. I'm going to try and do my best in what I can do. Luckily I have this big room to do it in, so yeah, it shouldn't be as hard as if I had to do it in the previous room downstairs. Anyway, let's get started today. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay, here we are. Right, so first thing we need to do is they put this as a rudder hinge in the instructions. That's what they're labeling it. This is actually the stern post, and this is going to fit just at the back there. Now, I know this because the backbone of the Titanic, which is the keel, this is part of it, and it's not flimsy, it was actually part of it. Everything else comes off of it, so that is actually a stern post. Okay, so this, we've got the rudder. Now that is just going to go on like that. Holding that in place, we've got a pin, so always with pins, make sure everything's lined up. Smooth ending first and guide it up through. Okay, then when you're more or less lined up, we just want to push this into place. I can do that with just some pliers, and that will lock into place. Now that still wants to move upwards, which is a bit, it's not great. I mean, look, it's just flapping there. So I think they should have really done a rod that went all the way up, but it is what it is. So that's the rudder in place. Now the next step it's asking us to do is actually to put this on its base. For some reason, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do that at the end when we need to. So I need to now stop the camera, move the hull out of the way, because we have some work on our forecastle to do. So back in a second.
A few moments later.
Okay, so here we have our forecastle. So the next thing it needs us to do is it wants us to put this, we call it a cable cover. And they want us to put this in to there. Like so. Now I do have a bit of excess glue in there, but it's going in. I'm not too happy about the front bit's not gone in. No. So back when I did the original decking for this, I didn't think about glue in places. So it just shows how far you can come in this build as a modeller. Okay, so with that in place, we need to screw it in from underneath with a CP screw. So here we have our CP screw. And we'll screw this in. Now I've just noticed something I'm going to have to do, because we are fitting this onto the Titanic today. One of my LED wires has actually come loose, so I'm going to have to solder that back on. It's not a problem, but yeah, I've just noticed that now. But look, how long ago did we do this and we could have fitted it? It's crazy. Okay, so with that in place, next it's asking us to actually put this on the ship. I'm going to pause that for now and move on to stage 5, only because I need to resolder this, and obviously we need to bring the bow across and put that on. So I'm going to do stage 5 next, and stage 5 basically is we need our remote. We're going to take the back off, and then it wants us to put a CR2032 battery in. So here is one of them. Place it in like so. Put the cover on. And all of a sudden you can actually see that the light is on. So that's how you turn it off. And that's the various bits you can do. And then obviously you can move it around. Okay, now that's just telling us to do that, and then the next thing it's saying is obviously to put some batteries in the base and then to put the switch on, which I'm going to do in a bit. So, right, so next thing I need to do is I need to stop the camera, bring over the hull, I need to solder that wire on, back on the LED strip, test it, and then we are going to start fitting the Forecastle actually onto the hull of the ship. So, back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, I'm back. So, that's sorted, I've resoldered it now. Okay, so, what we need to do is we're going to be putting our Forecastle finally onto our hull. I've waited a long time for this. We need to make sure that the wire as well is in is going in the proper direction, and then just try and put this in. This is going to be the last time fiddling with this, which is going to be great. Right, that's in place. Just loved it when it just slotted perfectly in place then. Okay, now it wants us to put the wire into P, which is this one. Just bring this closer, which is this one just here. So we'll do that. So P is just there. Okay, so with that in position, that's step 4. Now we did step 5, which was the remote control. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be now fitting this onto here, and we need some screws we got in issue 9, which are GM screws, and that's what's going to put the deck, this Forecastle deck, down onto here. I really don't know why we got these in issue 9 and we're fitting them in issue 135. That is, well, that is close to a record of amount of times of holding on to something. Sorry, I can't see that. Amount of time of holding on to something and not doing anything with them. Now I am putting these into oil. I wish we'd have put this on sooner, I really would. But that works as a method, I suppose. Okay, so that's 2 in there. One in there. So I'm just trying to work it out. So Oh, 130, so we're on 135. Minus 10 plus 1, so 126 issues later, we're using parts we were given. Yeah. Crazy. Okay, so last one. Okay, so they are on. Next, we need these that we got in issue 9. And these are the cleats. Now these are going to be going onto our forecastle, which will cover the screw holes. So I'm just seeing how they've got these on here. So they're going to go on basically more or less like that, I believe. And that's definitely what it looks like in the magazine. So we'll glue these on. It does say, you know, if they don't need glue, don't use glue. It's really going to make the Forecastle pop though, maybe that. But just strange we've held on to them for so long. Just double checking because some of these have got a big hole, some have got a small hole. So just double check where they go. I think that one I had goes into this one. Let's check. Actually, that really doesn't need glue once that's down. Okay, we'll check this one again. So line it up. One side is fairly easy to get in. That side not so much, so let's just open the hole up a little bit. See if there's any kind of junk in there that needs taking out. Oh, that looks to be much better. But it's still not fitting in. Right, let me just double check on something, guys. I'm going to get these in and then come back. So back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay, guys, I'm back. So they are in place. They're quite a snug fit, so I haven't used any glue on mine at all. But there is a big hole and there is a smaller hole. So yeah, you need to make sure of that. Right, now moving on to the next thing I want us to add is take the rods. I mean, okay. Now this one is just going to be going on top here. Now it came white. I know it is brown. Ivory came to mind because when I look at the picture of the Titanic, this is actually the same colour as the mast. So that's why mine's a different colour. But we do need to pop this in some glue. And that's just going to pop in to this front section just here. Many tweezers. Put that in. Right, that's in place. Very tight fit. Okay, with that in place, we've got these arms next. And these are going to go in. They're going to be in like a direction. But I don't really want to put these in with any glue because in case we need to put them in the correct direction. Got a little bit of glue in there anyway. Told you this was going to be a long one. Check the other one to make sure there's no glue in that one. Okay. I will now try and get these in. It's just something I'm thinking maybe I'll keep off till a later date. You know, towards the end, because I just think they're going to fall off. They're not. If they were a key-shaped pattern, it wouldn't be too bad. But they're not. So I'm actually going to leave mine off until a later date. Right, so the next thing it's saying is you want some cleats put in, some eyelets putting in, which I've already got one there, and I've already got 4 here as well. So I've already done that ahead of schedule. So moving on to the next section is we need to put the rudder on. Not the rudder, we need to put the aft poop deck on. So I'm just going to pause for here while I position this again, and we'll get all them bits on. So back in a sec.
Eventually.
Okay, so here we are at the aft deck section of the Titanic. So first thing it's asking us to do is we need to run this wire down the hull, and also the wire for the motor, which are basically, I mean the picture's not very clear at all, but we're going to pass it underneath there, underneath there, underneath, and then we do the same with the wire for our LED strip on the poop deck. And then I'm just going to position this in place, hopefully. It's a case of sort of getting it in and slotting it in to place. Not easy at all, because the way where some of the bits to screw this down are just in a ridiculously stupid place, really, to be honest. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. At all. Because of where things are. Oh. Yeah, it's this side here that I'm having problems with. I can get it. Right, so I've got one side in, which is brilliant. But then the other side does not want to come at all. Same as I can put that side in, okay. Right guys, I'll be right back. I'm so sorry about this. It's not the way I really want to do videos, but this is really testing me. So back in a sec.
Eventually.
Okay guys, so I've got this back in. So literally you've got to put this starboard section in, then try and pull the hull out a little bit or prise it out to get this section in. That isn't easy. Not easy in the slightest. Okay. We can now screw this in with 6 screws, and I will be happy that these are in now. That is just, yeah. Look, I love doing part works, but sometimes you really do test your patience with things. And this build has tested my patience with things. But we're lined up, we're going in. Now, after we've done this, we have got the cleats to put on the rear of here to cover the screw holes, which is going to be fun. But hopefully they'll be a lot easier than the front ones, because the front ones had a big hole, small hole. I don't think the rear have got this, so hopefully it'll be a lot easier, and hopefully I don't have to glue them in. Okay, so that is now in. Okay, now I have gone a little bit further ahead, but if I just move this back, we need to put these wires onto our circuit board. So V is near here, and it's that one there. And then S is here. And that goes in there like so. Okay, so that is all now wired up. So if we come back to our rear, we'll put these cleats in. Right, so these are some for the rear, which are nicely curved. Yeah, these are a little bit loose. What I might do is I might glue them off camera. But we'll see. I'm just happy to get them in right now. Yeah, they're definitely going to have to be glued, but I'll do that off camera. This has been a crazy build. Missing one. There we go. Okay. Right, so the next thing it's asking us to do is to actually put eyelets in there. I've already done that, so we don't have to worry. I can put the instructions up now. And that's where you can see them going on. It does say also to put this on, which is our flagpole. I'm going to leave it off, guys, until the end, I think. I think it's going to look a lot better, and that could be knocked and broken off, so I'm going to put that on as kind of the finishing touches to this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the stand down, put some power into the stand, and then we'll check to see, we need to check to make sure the LED in the aft section is working, the LED in the forward section is working, and if the motor is spinning as well. So, back again, I'm sorry, in a sec. Okay guys, so we are now powered up. We've got the stand in place. We've got power to the remote, so let's go ahead. Now it's really slow. It wasn't this slow a moment ago. But if I go full astern, yeah, strange, I don't know. So I'm going to have a look into that. But I can't really show you because of the light, but the lights are working. It's just that's not, and I just find it a little bit strange. Really, really strange. But everything's working. It just, yeah, don't want to work. Well, it does want to work, but it might be because I've got it powered up to a USB hub and not direct into a PC. So that could be one of the reasons why. It was working a moment ago until I set record, but then the Stream Deck is using the same hub. I don't know. Anyway, it is working and I'm happy with it. So that is issue 135 complete. Well guys, that's it for issue 135 of the Titanic. That was not an easy issue at all. Having to change places, change the hull, bring this sound. Oh, what a nightmare that was, but it's done, which is the main thing. Not too bad. It's just fiddly. It's going to be fiddly towards the end, and I just think we could have maybe put the bow section in a bit sooner. I mean, holding on to screws and parts from issue 9, really? That is just, yeah. Words will be at me. I did figure out though the problem with the motor was actually to do with the I plugged it into a USB hub. It was drawing power from it. So that's why it wasn't going around properly. Once I double checked that, everything was working fine. So yeah, don't plug it into a USB hub because it's not going to give enough power. Anyway, enough's enough. It's done. Only 5 more to go. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell and be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.